Hope you're doing awesome. Thank you for being here, Josh. Always nice to see you. And I hope you're feeling fine. Had a good week. All right. Let's wait for some more folks to come up in here. All right. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. It's always humbly appreciated. Okay. Thank you guys kindly for your support. It's always a vibe. hmm It's always a vibe. It's always a good time. Happy Friday, March 8th, 2024. I hope you guys are feeling awesome, had a good week, a productive week, a restful week. All right. It's always awesome to, make some things happen, right? So, yep. Hey, Mary. Hey, Adam. Hey, everybody. I'm happy to see you guys. Once again, thank you guys so much for being here, for supporting. Thank you, Jay, for the compliments. I got this. I like to thrift a lot. I like to thrift. I like to go to the thrift shops, Value Village, thrift store, you name it. That's where I like to be. And I got this from there, right? So it's like, you never know what you're going to find at these places. And I think that's what entices me the most. And, I'd rather spend, my money in a place where I can get a lot more and you don't know what you're going to get. There is that surprise factor. So yeah, that's where I got it from, a thrift shop. So thank you so much for that. Thank you guys so much. Yeah. Adam says you find some hidden gems. For sure. You never know. People donate things and it's like, sometimes they don't even realize the value, of what it costs. And then you pick up something. It's like, it's awesome. I love thrifting. It's very fun. I actually find extreme enjoyment in walking through the aisles of Value Village. It's so much fun. So much fun. All right, everybody. So, pertaining to this live stream, you're going to find a lot of people staring at you. You're going to find a lot of people grilling you up and down, watching you, all right, looking at you silently. And definitely it can come across as very unnerving, right? Like unwarranted even. Like, why are you watching me? Why are you, why is this person looking at me from across the room? And you're looking around because you're thinking maybe they're looking past me. But no, they're looking at you, specifically you. And it's because there is something enticing about you and people don't know what it is. They may want to find it out. It could be people that you don't know. Most likely, most of the time, it could be strangers staring at you. They are looking at you because they feel like there is something about you that's worth looking at. And oftentimes, it's not just about what they physically see. And that's the thing that we have to understand as well. Because if we're going into society, as I like to say, like a plain Jane, right? I go outside, I'm not doing too much, I don't care to do too much. Why is this person grilling me? Why are they looking at me like that? Why are they staring at me like that? Because you automatically think self-consciously. You really do. You think that it has to be something that you're wearing, spinach in your teeth. What is it, right? Is there, are people looking at my shoes saying, what are those, right? Like, you got to think about it. Like, why are they watching me like that? If I'm going out here dressed like a plain Jane, not doing too much. That's the thing, though. It's like the fact that you're not doing too much, but still there's something alluring about you. It's that. That is what it is. They know something's different about you. They know. They feel it. They really do feel your spirit. I believe that people can feel your spirit from a mile away. So it's like when you feel like, let it be known if you've been in a library, a very populated place, a concert, a mall, a grocery store, where there's like a heavy population of people at one time. And people are just watching you from the crowd. Like they're pinpointing their attention to you. But why would that be? I mean, there's so many faces that they could look at. Why are they picking you out of the lot? It's because they feel you. They know there's something different about you that they feel like, once again, is worth looking at, paying attention to. People will stare at you so much they don't even realize what they're doing. They're kind of like mesmerized by you and by your presence, right? And yeah, strangers will do this. And you may find it kind of creepy. It can be creepy, of course, because we feel self-conscious. And we're wondering to ourselves, once again, like, why me? Why not anybody else? And they feel your spirit. They feel your vibe. You may not be doing anything, actually. You don't have to do nothing. That's the special thing about you, too. It's like you don't have to do and put forth that extra fluff, that a lot of people may have to put forth. You don't have to try too hard. You don't have to work too hard. You don't got to put on the extra stuff, because it's not about what's on you, keeping in mind, and they feel you. They feel this. They know that, right? And so you do stand out from the crowd, definitely. Adam says, I get it when I hit the supermarket, right? All you're trying to do is buy your eggs, your milk, your cheese, your staples, right? That's all you're trying to do. And people are looking at you and you feel very self-conscious maybe, or maybe you feel like, what about me is it that's causing this person or these people to look at me like that? I'm just here like they are here, And oftentimes it's kind of weird. We may feel like we're being watched, or we may feel like we're being looked at, which is what prompts us to look up and be like, what? Like, why is this person looking at me? Right? Or why are these people? Let it be known if groups of people have stared at you as well. That is strange. That is strange. I will admit that is strange. It has happened to me before, but I do find it odd where the groups of people who are together, they're a group of people. It could be a family. It could be a group of friends, people who you don't know, but they're all kind of looking at you, or they'll be talking, but then when you walk by, they all stop to stare at you as a group, keeping in mind, they didn't know that you were coming. They didn't know that you were going to be, they don't know who you are, right? But somehow you were able to get this group's attention. Now they're all grilling you at the same time. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. Yeah, Josh says gossipers. It was the other day that I had went to a buffet for dinner, and I know it sounds gluttonous, doesn't it? But no, I went to a restaurant, and it was packed. It was heavy. It's weird because when I was younger, I liked to be around a lot of people, but now it's like it makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. It gets me on edge a little bit when I'm around crowds of people. So this was the case at the restaurant, and I'm just walking in the restaurant. It's like groups of people, like families, friends, work associates, whoever they were to each other. These people are just like watching me, grilling me, looking at me up and down. All right. They're not talking anymore. They were having conversations before I approached. Now they're quiet. Now they're not saying nothing. And it's just like sometimes, and it's weird because once again, you look down at yourself and you're thinking, is it something that I have on? Is it something in my teeth? What is it? Is it my hair? What is it? No, it's none of that. These people aren't looking at you long enough to even it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Like you'll get people's attention, but at a first glance, if that makes any sense, like they're not even processing who you are or who you could be. It's just a moment of time and opportunity. And it's very opportunistic, if I'm making any sense, where you'll just walk past people and they're kind of like, it's like they just turn their attention to you, but it's almost like they could feel you first, if that makes any sense. So it can get kind of crazy. I believe anybody could feel energy, even people who are negative. That's why people act out, Like you could be a high vibrational person, and the reason why low vibrational people act out is because they could feel those high vibes, right? So we can't put it past people what they could feel, what they can sense about you, what they've caught wind of, right? And oftentimes all they have is a little glimpse into your life. They don't fully know who you are. They don't really understand what you're about, where you came from, where you're going next. All they could feel is you. They feel you. And so they act like, and they'll stare at you. They'll stare you down. It could be people, it could be anybody. I've been in a lot of service-based places, where I'm trying to get something done or trying to purchase something. And it's like, maybe the main person servicing me isn't staring at me, but their colleagues are, or their, for example, I could be at a bakery, a baker is helping me, but then the baker's assistant is staring at me, or the people in the background are watching me. And it's like, why are you guys watching me? Don't you have cakes to ice? And it's like, no, and they're all and it's like, what are they thinking about me? What are they feeling? It's a lot of things. It's a smorgasbord of things, really. People can't really pinpoint what it is. That's why they will stare for as long as they will. They'll look at you. They will look at you up and down. Once again, when they realize that it's not about what's on you, then they get even more intrigued. There is this enticement that you inadvertently bring about in people. You're not trying to be enticing. You may go out of your way to dodge this sort of attention, right? You may not want to draw attention to yourself, but you will find that you do it anyway. And it's because people are just catching a clue about this unique that you carry, that they just don't come across very often. So it can happen. Mm-hmm. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me, because I'm getting like weird error messages. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Yeah, this thing seems to be glitching a little bit. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me at all right now? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. This is so interesting. Seems like this is glitching right now. Can you guys hear me at all? Sorry, guys. Did you guys see me glitch out for a moment? Did you guys see me glitch out? This thing completely booted me out of the stream. Yeah. I don't know why in the world that happened. And I'm surprised that it even reconnected me at all. And it's still kind of like showing some sort of like, what is going on? Yeah, that's pretty wild. That is really weird. And it's still sending me like error messages as well. That is so strange. My apologies for that. That is wild. Yeah. Hopefully it stops. That is so weird. Right? Yeah, hopefully that stops. My apologies, guys. That is so weird. I don't think that's ever happened before. That is really, really weird. Yeah. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. But yeah, you're gonna have a lot of people staring at you. You're gonna have a lot of people grilling you. You're gonna have a lot of people lurking, watching, wondering about who you are as a person, right? You're gonna have people in the most innocuous of locations wondering about who you are as a person, wondering about what you stand for, and people want to know you. People are gonna want to get close to you, right? um it's like, I think I was saying before, like there could be groups of people who are kind of like just watching you as a clan, and they don't know that you're coming, they don't know who you are, but they all kind of stop and stare at you specifically. They're watching you and they're trying to see about what it is about you, and I find that odd. Like, it's weird enough for one person to stop and watch, but it's weird that it's even more strange when a group of people are grilling you and catching, you're catching their attention, but they didn't know that you were going to be there. Like, they had no, it's very unintended is what I'm trying to say. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know, it's like glitching a little bit. YouTube is acting funny tonight. It's acting really weird tonight. Never happened before. Really strange. Yep. So I've been stared at a lot, and I do find it to be rude. Of course, it can be rude to stare at people excessively, especially when it's kind of like, well, what's the deal? Like, do you want to talk? What is it? It can feel a little bit awkward when people are just like looking at you and not saying anything, and you don't know them. Of course, this is even weirder. This is even weirder than a stranger looking at you by themselves, or a group of strangers. Imagine your own people staring at you. So your own friends, like you may catch your friends staring at you. They're kind of looking at you for a little longer than usual. That's happened to me before, and I do find it weird, because it's like they know you and you know them. So why are they looking at you like that? It could be a family member. It could be a coworker who you just look up and they're just looking at you from across the room. And it's like, what's going on here, right? Like, you know me. Can't you say something? Isn't that how we talk? Isn't that how we communicate? By, talking, you know what I mean? Not staring at each other like that. And it can get pretty wild. And I feel like people are trying to, even if people know you, it's almost like they're trying to figure out what else is there to know about you. But it's like they don't want to ask questions. They don't want to say that. They don't want to sound enticed or sound like they're really interested in you. It's like they want to do it with their eyes. They want to look at you for a little bit and see if they could find out what they got to find out about you. So you'll find your own people grilling you. You'll find your own people like stalking your pages, and then it's like then you wonder why when you go around them they're looking at you a little funny. A lot of times it's because these people lurk on your life, not only in person but on social media as well. They'll look at you and then you scout your Facebook, check your Twitter up, then you go around them, unbeknownst to you, they've been watching you, right? So they play it out in real life. It's almost like people just can't believe that it's you, or they can't believe that you are real, or they want to know like what the deal is with you. Some people are really scared of you. You ever feel like you're afraid, but you're enticed as well? Like you could be afraid of something and you could be put off by something, but then it's like this weird fascination as well, to where you look at something that scares you, or you seek information about something that is foreign to you. I feel like some people do that, like you may intimidate people, but they can't help but to stare or to be attracted or to be enticed by you, because once again they probably feel like they probably know that you're harmless. They probably know that you're not a threat, but at the same time you feel threatening, but at the same time they can't help but stare. So it's like it can get kind of murky. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pale Rider says they won't do anything with all that gang stalking with me. I feel you on that. Yeah, Adam says these pop-up messages are like so weird. Adam says I got mad stalkers, gang stalkers try sending fear, vibes, and hate. Yeah, it's almost like you can feel it, can't you? You may not be able to fully discern who's doing what. You may know, but it's like it's more like a feeling first, and it can be really unnerving. When I found out about gang stalking, like it really put me on edge. And this whole sort of like collaborative effort of groups of people, it could be your closest people as well, right? Conspiring to watch your life, or to watch your movements, or to at least try to match and to watch your movements, to see where you go, what are you going to do next, what do you post, where are you posted up at. And it's really unnerving. Once it's the collaborative part of it really makes me uncomfortable. I think that's the thing that really puts me on edge. It's like, why are you all in on this? You know what I mean? It's bad enough that one person would be so invested. Now we have a group of people who can't seem to cut out the obsession, right? And sometimes people will become obsessed with you. Some people will become very, very enthralled by you, to where it becomes very unhealthy. And so it goes beyond the stairs as well. Some people just want to know the ins and outs, what you do in your life and where you go and what you're interested in and what makes you tick. Some people will get you mad on purpose to see if they can get a reaction out of you, that they can do that. So it can get really weird, no doubt. No doubt. You could be very physically attractive, very well, a good looking person. That's an obvious reason why people will stare at you, right? You probably take good care of yourself. You may go to the gym. You may eat well. You may have a special diet. You may be a vegan. You may be a pescatarian. You may drink tons of water, right? You may do Pilates. It could be anything, yoga. You may just take really, really good care of yourself, to where you're physically attractive. You have a nice physique, and people are watching. That's very basic, isn't it? That's mostly why people would obviously stare on the, superficially, they like what they see, right? But when you're a different type of person, you may physically be very attractive, but people know, no, there's something else here. Something else is at play, something else is going on with this person. It's not just what I see. Because if that was the case, right? People, you will know. You will feel the vibe where it's deeper than what it seems, right? Like people could look at you for a while, but then some people may want to approach you, or someone may want to ask you a question, right? It's not just a glance. People act on the glance. They act on what they see. You may be approached. Like somebody who was staring at you for a while may want to approach you now, or ask you a question, or ask you for directions. It's happened a lot to me where people have approached me, and there was the other day where it's like, I was at the doctor's office, and it's like this person came up to me and asked me to zip up their coat. Like I thought it was really really bizarre, but they asked me to zip up their coat. They were an older person, and she was all like, "Can you help me zip up my jacket? Because I'm very, I can't see it. I can't see what I'm doing." Like she said something like that, and I thought it was weird at first. But it's like of all the people that she could ask, if of all the people that she could approach, because we are in a public building, like it's a doctor's office, right? It's like she wanted to ask me to do something that I guess she felt was very personal, right? Like very touchy. And she asked me to do it. And so I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Like people will look at you for a while and wonder if you're like, they see, some people will feel like you're a safe person. Like people will look at you and feel like, hey, maybe they could tell you their problems, or maybe they could vent to you. You may have had strangers vent to you, tell you things that they should really be telling their own folks, but they want to tell you. They feel, safe with you or confident in you, and you may be a stranger to them, an utter stranger. So, yeah, people might look at you and think about whether or not you're someone worth talking to. Like, will you give them the light of day? Maybe a lot of people have been rejected, and they look at you for a while and they realize that you are the type that will not reject them. Like, you will listen to them, you will help them with directions, you will hear them out. So it's possible that could be the case too. Can you guys hear me well? Am I cutting out? I'm getting these annoying, pestering YouTube messages. It's like really, really weird. This has never happened before. Am I cutting out? Is it like going in and out, or is it like straight? It's not glitching at all. Okay, because this is like so weird. I'm happy to hear that you guys can hear me. Oh, Adam, that's funny. Yeah, I hear ya. It's kind of funny how this happens, huh? These things randomly happen, or is it random? That's the question. We gotta wonder, is it really random, right? But yeah, definitely, you'll be stared at, you'll be looked at. People will be, people will. Some people do not know what they're doing here as well. Like they'll watch you and they'll look at you for a while, but not realizing that they're doing it. They're not going to realize that they're giving themselves away, like how they're really feeling about you in that moment, or what they're thinking about you in that moment. People can help. People cannot help to stare. Have you ever been in a situation where this has happened to me a lot in college? That I noticed that when I was in college, sitting in a course in a classroom, and I was listening to the professor give their lecture, it's like the professor's watching me. It could be a woman or a man, it didn't matter. It's like they have a classroom full of students to survey and to look over, but it's like they keep looking at me. They looking at in my direction. They're, it's almost like I don't know what it was. This happened a lot when I was in college. Where like I said, the professor's giving their lecture, they're looking at the PowerPoint, presenting a prezi, whatever you want to say, doing some sort of demonstration, and it's like then they're looking at me. It's like, wait a minute, there's like 40 other pupils in here though, right? It happens. And then I wondered to myself, like, what is it about? What am I doing? Is it something I'm doing? Whatever. Because I'm very attentive. I was very attentive in college, and I wanted the professors to know that I was attentive too. So I felt like that maybe was a part of it as well. That maybe because I was nodding my head a lot or writing notes and looking up and giving them eye contact, that maybe they weren't used to that. So they looked at me, but I'm not the only person though in here, right? You got to look at everybody. That was interesting that I found in college. Yeah, Prod says professor always staring at me, knowing I'm the chosen one. I bet. I bet. Yep. Adam says they're pure, drawn to your positive energy. Some professors and lecturers are pure duppy. I hear you. Mm-hmm. Pale Rider says our faces never lie. Adam says weirdos in high places. Yeah, Letting Grace says, oh my gosh, yes, the professor watching me. I know it is coming off as creepy though, isn't it? It is strange. It can be strange because once again, keeping in mind in a college university setting, these professors often have many classes to teach, many faces that they never, it's not like elementary or high school where these professors really get to know you, right? So it's like, but they're watching you like they know you, or they want to have a, like there was a class I was taking, it was business. It could have been sort of business. I don't remember what it was, honestly. It was when I was doing the paralegal program. I don't remember what the course was, but it was about business, something about business. And every time I walked into the classroom, because I like to be very punctual, I did not like to be tardy. One thing about me, I'd rather be absent than late. No, I'd rather be absent, like not there at all, than be late, showing up late. So I always like to show up early. And this professor was always just kind of like grilling me. And you know how some professors like, they kind of like, they're stragglers. They come in kind of late. They come in kind of like huffy and distracted. It's always like this professor was always just there and ready and just looking at me, like watching me. I don't know what it was. And it's like he would tell me things that I just didn't care to know. Like how he's teaching at this other college and you know, he's offering courses there if I wanted to take some there. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why would I need to know this information? Why is he even telling me this? You know, I guess some people just feel like they could talk to you. It was really interesting, very, very interesting. You know, so of course it could border on creepy, definitely. It could be a little bit unnerving seeing that these people who are, you know, it's a fleeting moment. It's a fleeting situation. You know, you're just in your course or you're just at the bank. It could be any place where people are just kind of like, they're doing their job, they're doing their thing, then you come along and now their job stops. Now they can't focus, or now they're very distracted. It's like you're getting people distracted inadvertently, not on purpose, because they can feel you, you know, and they know that you're kind of different and they're distracted by that. So yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. My apologies again, everybody, for the glitches, the curious glitches tonight. Very curious, very odd. And I'm still getting messages about this glitch. It's really weird. Yeah, Ma says X exposed my life to my professor. He used it as an example the whole semester. That is really wild. Wow. That is wild. Dubs, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. It is weird. You know, it's actually really, it's odd, but it is also comforting to know that a lot of us have went through like experiences that are very similar to one another, right? Because I'm telling you from now, the people that I was around, it was like none of them could really relate. I would tell people things, right? Like, oh, do you see that? Or do you see this? Or do you feel that? And people would be like, no, you're tripping. You know, like that's not what's happening, or you're taking it the wrong way, or no, that's not what's really transpiring here, or you're kind of crazy. And so you kind of quiet yourself down. That's what I did for a very long time, like just not speaking about things I see or speaking on things that I feel because you feel like you're being ostracized or treated differently because of it, right? Or some people see it as a more of a superficial thing, where I see it in a way like, no, there's something deeper about this. There's something strange about this. And people will be like, nah, he's just looking at you because you look good, or she's just looking at you because she wants your jacket. And it's like, wait, what? No, it's something deeper. Why are they looking at me like that, in that way? It can't just be about a coat. It can't just be about something superficial. Oftentimes it is because of something deeper. you know Sometimes people will stare at you because they think that you're easy, or that you're an easy catch, or you're going to be easily swindled or easily tricked. Once again, in college there was a lot of people that would try to like talk to me and approach me because they felt like they could get something out of me, or get some sort of reaction, or to see what type of person I really was. And then when they saw that, no, like I'm not who you think I am, then they start acting angry. They start wilding out and acting like they start tripping, like you did something to them or you tricked them. It's crazy. So once again, people will size you up. That's why they'll stare at you as well. They'll size you up. Are you like them? Who are, what do you know? Right? But they don't want to say that. They want to look at you and try to figure it out this way. So it can get pretty pathetic. Definitely. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Josh says it's like they hate second guessing themselves. Right. Yeah, Overgrind says no, it goes deeper than that. You glowing from the inside out. Right. Right. Exactly. They see the light. Yeah, Monica says they see the light. Ma says yes, very cult-like, isn't it? All they're missing are the robes, right? Like, what is this? It is that weird thing, like people looking at you in a group. That is something that really bugs me. It still does bug me, because it's like, it's not, because you could tell it's not always an orchestration. It's random. You could just be walking, once again, walking into a room of people. They could be a group of friends, right? And you're kind of like this lone wolf walking in, and they all shift. It's like some Black Mirror stuff. They all shift. They all shift in their seat at the same time, or they break their necks trying to look at you. But why is it so synchronized? Like, why are they all doing it at the same time? It does feel off-putting. It feels much worse than a single person doing that. Because what's with this grand, why does it feel so synchronized? Once again, why are they all doing it at the same time? They were all talking, they were all laughing, they were all focused on whatever it was they were doing. And now it's like you somehow drew that focus out of them, and now they're like watching you and paying attention to you. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Sometimes you're just deeper than people that you come across, right? And what's deeper is harder to understand. And so people will like strain themselves to understand you or to get to know you. And it can frighten people, but also entice people at the same time, definitely. Yeah, LJ, nice to see you. You said switched when you came through. Always, right? Always. I've been invited out places where people are just looking at me. I will never forget. I will never forget this. I'll never forget when I was invited out to a party by somebody who knows me very well, and who I know very well. And it's like, I was one of the first people there at this party because, once again, I don't like being tardy. I like to be early or, right on time. And it's like the person who invited me, when they saw it was me at the door, it's like they're looking at me like I shouldn't be there. They're staring me down, keeping in mind. And once again, they know me. I am not a stranger to them. They've been knowing me, right? But it's like they're looking at me and they're staring at me, not in a good way, in a weird way, in a threatened way. Like, how dare you walk into this place? Why are you here? They're looking at you like you should not be here. And then I'll catch this person throughout the event just staring at me, keeping in mind this is no stranger. This is somebody who knows me, somebody who um, we're supposed to have a certain type of bond here, right? Why are you watching me like that? What's going on? And so you'll surely see that even those you know very well, they'll look at you this way. They'll grill you, and it's very uncomfortable. And that made me and then of course I was thinking, maybe did I come too early? As much as I like to be on time, maybe that's what it is. I came too early. Did I catch them at the wrong time? Are they don't do they not feel ready? Am I doing too much? No, I was a plain Jane coming to a plain event. It wasn't nothing crazy. You're showing up because you were invited. You show your face, and it's the same people who invite you out are the same people who are grilling you for the whole entire night. So it can definitely be weird, and it put a bad taste in my mouth because I'm like, why invite me around to grill me like that? Especially because you know me, right? It's almost like somebody you don't know, an actual stranger, coming into your home. Like that's what this person was acting like. Like it was somebody who they hadn't invited. And this random straggler is intruding into their home. Like, what? And it was weird. It was weird. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Adam says they always try to misalign the chosen, right? Adam says public enemy number one when you are blessed. For sure. All it takes is to be blessed, isn't it? It's wild. It feels um it feels uncanny. It's very uncanny to me how you can be blessed and you can be happy and you can be vibrant and you can be getting all the things that you deserve, and then for some odd reason everybody around you takes it as a negative, like you don't deserve it, it shouldn't be like this. Some people will stare at you because of pure envy, pure envy, pure jealousy. And once again, thank you guys all so much for being here, and my apologies for the technical difficulties that is going on YouTube right now. That is so weird. And right now I'm still getting messages saying that the app is not responding, so it's really odd. So thank you guys for bearing with me for sure. But some people will stare at you for jealous reasons. Look at you because they feel like it's not fair. How dare you be the one that is blessed? How dare you be the person that's getting all this awesome stuff, right? How dare you be the person who is in a happy relationship? You may have an awesome job, a great career. You might be able to travel. You might be able to afford things you want. You may live in a nice home. You may be very comfortable. You could just be pure and simple happy, right? And people will stare at you because they can feel it. They can feel it. It's like there'll be times where people turn me down in a public situation. Like people will make it seem like they can't help me, right? But they were able to help everybody else ahead of me. And I guarantee after I left, they helped everybody behind me, right? But it's like when it's you, it's like they don't want to help you. And I feel like some people don't want to help you because they feel like you're already being helped. Like, what else could you really want at this point? Because as far as we could see, you're already being blessed. So we're not going to bless you further. We're not going to do all that. So it can get pretty crazy how it's the simplest things in life that people will be envious of. People will stare at you because they're jealous. You could be walking down, it could be anything. You could be walking with your kids, you could be walking with your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend, It happens so many times. Go to the movies, with your partner, with your children, with your family, with your best friend who you actually have a good bond with anybody. People will be jealous because you have a good bond with your sibling, even, like it gets that weird. And you don't know these people. You'll be at the movies, you'll be at the mall, posted up, having a good time, and you don't know, but that group of people or that couple that's staring at you, well, they could be having problems, that you don't know about. Of course, you wouldn't because they're strangers to you, but they know what's going on in their home, and they're looking at you guys like you guys are like it, right? And so they get jealous and they start staring because they're insecure about their own situation, right? And it's like they see you and your situation is seeming pretty good. And so they get kind of envious about it. So it could be that quick glimpse into your life and to what your life seems like that people get pressed over and they start staring at you for it, right? So people will stare, they will look, they will gawk, they will be awestruck at how you have what you have, but they don't have that, but they should have that. So it's a lot of competition. Of course, people will stare at you in order to compete. If somebody's trying to actively compete with you, they feel like they have to grill you to do it because they need intel, right? So if they're not looking at you, then that means how are they going to get the information that they need to one up you, right? So you're going to have people watching you because they want to be able to fashion themselves to you, but they need the intel, they need that part, they need the information about you, so that they could do what you do, or at least attempt to do what you do. Josh says, my family stole everything from me. That's unfortunate, Josh. And I'll tell you what, from what I can see, family will do it to you first and they will do it to you worst. You know, your family will be the first people to betray you, right? It's not no friend, not no coworker. I mean, it could be, but it's not going to hurt as much and it's not going to be as profound and long lasting as the impact of a family member when they do it. You know, like family can move dirty, absolutely pathetic. In fact, a lot of you, when I did that poll a few weeks ago, I believe, a lot of you said that it's your family that's the most difficult to deal with, you know, the most toxic to deal with. Why is that? You know, why would that be? You know, you may have family members staring at you with eyes of envy. They'll stare at you. Don't put it past them. They'll look at you. They'll grill you for all the same reasons that all these other people would do. You know, because they can be very jealous of you, jealous of your unions, jealous of your money, jealous of your career, jealous of your relationships, jealous of your happy life. Your family feels like they know where you come from, so they should have known who you were going to be or what you actually deserve, right? Or it could be family members who are older than you, right? And they're feeling like it's not fair that you have what they should have been having, right? Or it could be younger people in your family looking at you thinking, oh, I can't wait to be that age, or I can't wait to be on that level where I can be that person. And until then, they're going to grill you. You know, until then, and they can't give you props. They can't pay no type of homage to you. It's not that type of situation. They would much rather hate on you, you know, and create this loathing situation where you're just the enemy. You're the person that they want to be, but they can't be you. So they start staring at you and looking at you and becoming more uncomfortable as well in your presence because they just cannot fashion themselves to you adequately. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, Monica says, yeah, family is something serious, very serious, very serious. Yep. Overgrind says, it was so hard back in the day. I used to try and figure out why. Yeah, it's nuts. You know, we could be born into a situation, you know, it's not even our fault. We're born into a, it's very karmic. It's very karmic, you know, a lot of very narcissistic as well. And narcissists love the chosen ones and they hate them at the same time. They really do. It's this love-hate situation, where your family, your friends, people who grill you out here, and these people have vices, serious vices that they are not really working through. And so it overtakes them. It really does. They start treating you different, even though a lot of the times you had nothing to do with it. These people will watch you. You're the person that they want to be a lot of the times. It may not be that they actually want to actually have your life, but perhaps there's elements of your life that they kind of wish, okay, I wish I had that. You know, I wish I had their confidence. I wish I had, you know, because I'm telling you from now, you know, as a superficial planet that we're living on, it's deeper than that. A lot of people want the little things that you've got that they do not have. That's why you see a lot of people covering up their lives with wealth, materialism, right? who's the next hottie on their hip, right? That's what they focus on. That's what is about clout, right? So when people are staring at you, but this is what I feel from my personal opinion, because I feel like I'm more of a plain person, and I like to be that way. I don't have to. I don't want to have to impress anybody. I don't feel the need. I don't have the desire. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I see people grilling me outside or grilling me at the store, watching me, and I'm just coming as I am, it's like, what's going on here? And then you see them jump into their Maserati, or, they have something very attractive about themselves, or something about them that it's like, you're good. You are good. Why are you watching me? Right? Just because people seem good doesn't mean that they are good. It could be something off, something missing from their life that they feel like you've got. And it's the simple things that they cannot take. And it's always the things that are not tangible. It could be that you're very happy, you're very lively. It could be that you're very optimistic. You could be a hard worker. It's the things that they kind of wish that they could have or see in themselves. But because they're either unwilling to work on themselves or just too much healing that they don't want to really do, it's like they'd rather cover it up and then just stare and grill someone else and hate on somebody else that they wish they could kind of be like. Maybe they don't want to be you. Maybe it's like, nah, I need the Balenciaga, but I want his intelligence though. I want his confidence though. It's always deeper. It's deeper. When I talk to certain people, it's like they can't believe that I'm talking or that I'm saying things that I'm actually saying. And it's like people can't treat you right. People can't treat you as an equal. There's a lot of situations where I was not treated equal as everybody in the room. But you feel like you're being fair with everybody else, but not everybody's being fair with you. So you do get that vibe where it's like people are singling you out for some odd reason, right? Or people are making you feel like the odd one out. And this is what I like to say as well. Like, even if I am different from everybody else in the room, don't make it your active goal to treat me like that. Let's just all be, equal in here. But sometimes people can't do that because they know that you're vastly different from everybody else. They just treat you like that. They can't pay you no type of respect. They don't want you to say you're two piece. They don't want you to be seen. They don't want you to be heard. But at the same time, they want to be able to grill you though. They want to be able to like try to dissect your life and just watch you and study you. It's odd. Definitely odd. Yep. Josh says, I love being alone because it's true peace and happiness. Yep. Maz says, then they turn into crybabies when you call them out. Right. I wasn't doing that. That wasn't the intention. What are you talking about? You're exaggerating. That's not what the intention was. It's a lot of gaslighting. A lot of gaslighting for sure. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Adam says some people have full loaves of bread and they come for your crumbs, right? It's so true. And it's so true. So true. Like, it's like people will have the whole shebang going on. All right. They don't need to want for anything, right? But then let you get your little morsels, right? Things are turning out for you. It's like people want to come and take that from you. No, no, no. You're not allowed to have this little startup. You're not allowed to build your foundation. You're not allowed to have this. They want to take it for themselves. Or people can make more money than you. It could be anything where they just have a little bit more than you. And the moment that you get a little bit more, it may not even be close to what they've got. It may be nowhere close, and it wasn't ever a competition. That's just what it is. It's like people don't believe that you should have anything good, really. They think that you should starve or be without or struggle. They may be millionaires trying to come for your dimes, right? Like, no, 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 no. You're not going to have all that, right? Low. That's what I like to call it. It's very low. It's pathetic, it's low, and it's selfish. People will have full loaves, full lives they work for. They may have done a really nice job. It's not to say they're not doing a good job. It's not to say that, they're just not making no types of moves. These people may very well have, but it's like they're still jealous and vindictive though, right? Of course you have to be to try to come for someone's crumbs when you already got the loaf, right? As Adam said. So it's like, yeah, there's a lot of people you're going to come across who don't want you to have anything good. They want you to struggle. They want you to beg. They want you to be at their will. If you want something, no, no. And I always said I'd rather struggle, right, than be anybody's puppet. I am not about to be anybody's puppet on the planet. You're not going to just tell me what to do, tell me how to move, tell me how to act because you think I will be at your will to get some kind of leverage. I'll work for the leverage. I don't mind, because it's real. Then it's real, right? Then it's real. Yeah, Adam says they can't buy my anointing in stores. Right. Right. Overall, people are going to stare at you because you're very appealing in nature. You're very appealing, overall, a well-rounded person, and they could probably see it and they could probably feel it. And like I said, it could be strangers, it could be your own folks who are just looking at. I've had, ex-friends. I just catch them watching me, looking at me. Just even, there was somebody who I was around and I didn't notice that they were this is someone I know. Like I was just cooking and this person looks up and says, "Oh, I have a shirt like that. I have that. I used to have something like that." And I'm thinking to myself, how long were you watching me? Like, how long were you looking at me? And why are you comparing yourself to me? Because it definitely feels weird. Like you'll look up, your own people are just watching you. It's like, don't you have, and then they follow it up with something superficial and seems like a distraction. Like, did you really want to say anything about the shirt, or is it something else that you really wanted to say? Not everybody will say what they really want to say. They're going to cover it up. They're going to look at you. They know what they're thinking, but they're not going to say it. Maybe because it's too deep to say. Maybe they don't want to seem crazy. So they'll say something that kind of like covers it up, but they really have other things they really wish they could express. I've had people say, calling me out on certain things. And it's like, how long were you looking at me to say that? That's what you wanted to say. And it seems like just very superficial, too superficial. It has to be deeper than that. So yeah. So overall, like, I don't like to stare at people, and I don't really like to be stared at either. There's people who don't know what they're doing either. Some people who really don't know. There's some people who could have cognitive impairments. We know how it goes. Children, innocent people, like sometimes people just stare at you. They're staring and they just don't know why. They're just kind of looking at you and you're right there. And you might be it could be very superficial. You could have bright hair or, something about you that kind of just strikes people about you, makes them interested. They'll be holding their gaze, right? But oftentimes, as it relates to this live stream, it's more deeper than that. People will be looking at you and staring at you because you're just not like the rest, and they know it. They may not know how or how vast you are as a person. They just know there's something different, and they're going to watch you for it. They're going to stare at you. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ma said they've been watching and lurking for years. Sometimes people will be watching you for a very long time, and it will be unbeknownst to you, or perhaps you will not know the severity of it, the how long this has been going on for, right? People will be like, hey, like, do I know you? It'll be people that just only know you through social media, somebody who has never really added you, or you don't really know, or you're not really acquainted with. But then it's like, you may see them in public, you may not know them, but they're saying, oh, do I know you? And it's because they're maybe staring at your profile pic or watching it's really creepy. It can get really weird. I've had people say that to me, like, oh, do I know you? I think I know you from somewhere. It's like, I don't know you at all. I don't know who you are, what you stand for. I don't know. And it's like, it's weird. They'll say, oh, you look like my cousin, or you look like my sister. And it's like, and of course it could be true. You could remind people of somebody else, but then sometimes it just feels off-putting. Social media is so prevalent, so you just never know. That's the thing, you just never know. Low vibrational, Angelina says. I hear that. I hear that. Yep. Yeah, Moz says it's real. They think they're taking your spot. Your spot is not to be snatched. Your spot is special and it's unique, and you're the one that's ushered into that role. I feel like people know that. When people see you and they stare at you and it just lasts a little bit too long, like I feel like people know that you're real, you're concrete, you're real, you're not going anywhere. They may not know you to know what that means, what that looks like. But it's like people know that no matter who you are, this person is a real one. They just know that about you. This person's a real one. Don't know what their life looks like, don't know what their story is, but they're a real one. Yeah, people will know. People will know. Reality says I'm too outspoken for them. Yeah, I feel you. I've hushed so many people up because of things I've said that just didn't align with the general consensus of the room, right? It's like people think that you're like them, that you have the same viewpoints as them. And so when they realize that no, you do not have the same viewpoints, you literally have a different way of seeing things, it's like they go out of whack. There was a situation where I was speaking my mind about the music industry and about how the double standard of why certain groups of people can do certain things and nobody bats an eyelash because apparently only these groups of people are allowed to do it. But then when these groups of people do it, now it's this whole big issue, and now that's not right and that's not great. They shouldn't be doing all that. And I was kind of saying at this event, I was saying to because I like to speak my mind, right? I can't shut it off. I try to keep it neutral at certain times, but it really is hard for me sometimes. I like to speak my mind, right, about certain things. So I just told them, like, listen, there's a double standard here. These people should not be able. Why is it only them that are allowed to do this? Do this kind of dance or do this kind of thing, but then other people cannot. What's the issue? What's the problem? And it's just weird. People will just get quiet when you have a varying opinion, when you don't think like them, or when they thought that you had their back, or you shared their stance, but then they see that you don't. They get vexed, they get upset, and they treat you differently because of it, right? So I've seen many people get uncomfortable around me because, like, I'll be talking about things that they didn't think I either knew about or they didn't think I had a strong stance about, especially a strong polar opposite stance, right? Like, it's nothing of what they are thinking, right? So yeah, you'll definitely get shunned. People will look at you. I've been looked at. People just looking at me. I'll be talking to people. This is really creepy too, really annoying. I'll be talking to people. Some are listening, some are being attentive, but then others are just looking at me like this, like just this, just mad, just upset, quiet, but seething, just in their seat, vexed. And it's like, what is this? This is not The Sopranos, all right? Like, drop the arms and relax, But sometimes you get people so riled up by having a different viewpoint or a different way of coming across that it just jolts them, and they're going to show they don't really like you very much. And the only way they can convey this is by staring at you menacingly. It can be off-putting, but I just remind myself, I know what I'm talking about. I don't have to agree with them, right? I don't have to have the same viewpoint. There's no rule book that says that. You got to remind yourself sometimes, like, it's okay to be different. It's okay to have a different view. If I have a different view from 100 people in the room, so be it. I'm okay with that, right? Because I know what I'm thinking in my mind, and in my mind, I can back it up. And in my mind, I know what I want to say about it. And not everybody's can't believe that you would, or, people feel like you shouldn't speak, or people feel like you shouldn't say your two P's. So yeah, I've been in a lot of awkward situations, right? or I'm just being grilled at menacingly because people just felt like I shouldn't be talking. I should not be having nothing to say. It's like some people think that they know what your voice sounds like or what your words are going to be or what your interests are going to be. So the moment that you start talking and they see that it's totally different, now they're just staring at you. You could have been having an active conversation, but then at some point you hit this wall. Like you hit a soft spot or a sore spot with them. Now they're just quiet now. You'll see for the duration of time that they're around you, they're just looking at you. They're angry. It's like, was it something I said? A lot of times it was something you said or something they felt like you did that made them feel like, wow, this person is not who I thought they were. And now I'm uncomfortable about it. It's wild. Totally. Mm-hmm. Totally. Overgrind says, like when I went outside to get my schedule, the hour guy told me there's no day shift. Then when a lady went after, he gave her the day shift. And I went and I spoke my mind on it. The top hour lady fired me. Wow. That sounds like something to bring to the tribunal. Definitely. That sounds illegal. You know what I mean? On their point, obviously. And that's pretty disrespectful on their end too. Sorry that happened to you. That's wild. And of course, very deceptive because if you're trying to get something that they have, what is their intention of withholding it from you and then giving it to somebody else who they deem as more favorable? Then you're going out, you're calling them out, but then you get reprimanded in the worst way possible, in a way that would threaten your livelihood. That's wild. That is crazy. And I've been in situations similar as well, where I've been rejected for a role or rejected for some sort of service, but then the people before me got it, the people behind me got it. What's wrong with me? What's the issue with me? People just feel you and they don't want to give it to you. They don't want to service you. They don't want to have to give you what they feel is enhancing your life in some kind of way. They feel like your life is already too good, you're already too great, or there's something about you that seems like you're already well-rounded. So them doing this for you is really just enhancing your life, and they don't want to do that. I feel like that's something for the tribunal over grind. I totally feel like that's something to bring to the labor board, really. It seems like a wrongful dismissal, no doubt. All right. And of course, I'm not a practicing paralegal at this time. All right. So it's like I did learn about the employment law and things like that, but this is not legal advice. Okay. This is not legal advice. All I'm saying is it sounds off. Definitely sounds off. And it sounds very disrespectful. Like there's something about that. It just sounds gritty. It sounds very gritty and very brazen, and like just totally, there has to be something else going on here. It's not what it seems. That's what I'm getting here. That's the vibe I'm getting. That's wild. But I'm sure at some point of time over grind, if not yet, you're going to be blessed more abundantly than what this place could have provided you with. A lot of times that's how it goes. When people don't want to hear the truth, they start tripping. They don't want to hear it because they know. So they'd rather fire you, can you, get rid of you, ostracize you, shut you up, rather than taking stock of what you're actually saying and heeding your words and hearing where you're coming from. They'd rather punish you, so their words or actions will seem punitive, which is what happened here over grind. That's what it seems like. It seems like what this person did was punitive. They wanted to punish you for reprimanding them or calling them out, even though they're obviously the ones doing the wrongdoing. Something that I would say is bordering criminal, all right, like employment wise, if you know what I mean. So that's pretty wild. And I hope that you get blessed in more ways than one. In fact, all of you here, if you guys have been wronged, wrongfully canned from a job or ostracized or left out in the family, it could be anything. Trust me when I say people do not get away with what they do. They just don't. It seems like it at first. Everybody's ha-ha and he-heing while you're in the corner with the song playing, what's the song called? Lonely? Who sings that song? Who's the original singer of that song, Lonely? Is it a group of brothers? I don't remember who sings that song, Lonely. The original singers for that song, writers for that song. It's not like that. What I'm trying to say, it's not like that. People want you to feel like that, like you're on the outside, now it's a party. No. Sometimes these people are really in despair and they can't show it. And they feel like if they ostracize you, now they can move the way they move without feeling threatened by your words or you exposing them. So it's pretty nuts. Netra says Akon. I don't think it's Akon. I don't know if it's Akon. Is it Akon? I feel like the song is much older than that. Much older than that. Yeah, Adam says they always reap what they sow. And Dove says Akon too. I feel like there was an original song called Lonely. Original. From the 60s, maybe the 50s. Who sang that song? I feel like I know. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't recall. Yeah, I'm Mr. Lonely. Yeah, like who sang that song? I can't really remember. Yeah, Ma says shout out Akon. Yeah, Akon's dope, isn't he? That's funny. Yeah, it's an old school song. Yeah. Adam says I'll Google it. Bobby Vinton, right? Bobby. Yeah, it's some 60s song. I love one thing about me, guys. I love 60s music, 60s music, 70s music. Like there's just something about that era of music that I find very interesting. And it seemed more genuine, and it seemed and it's different. They had different technology at the time as well. So I kind of find that enticing too. So I like to listen to 60s music, even 50s music, but mostly 60s and 70s. I like music from all genres, but there's something about the 60s music and those black and white videos. It's just so nice. Like, I really, really like it. That's why I'm thinking about the original song, because I listen to a lot of these songs that I know are sampled now, right? But they're originally from decades ago, right? So I like to listen to the original songs, and it's just wonderful. Yeah, it was more pure back then, it seemed, eh? I'm sure there was stuff going on back then, no doubt, right? There's always been stuff going on, right? But it just seemed like more genuine work being put forth as well, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Michael Jackson, yep. Yeah, Prezi says music and movies felt more sincere back in the day. Yeah, for sure. And once again, even 60s movies as well, like even with movies with like Cary Grant and Sophia Loren. Is it Sophia Loren? Like those movies, like they're awesome. I will sit there, I will go on Tubi, and I'll purposely choose movies from the 60s to watch, movies from the 50s to watch. That's just kind of how I am. I like all decades, right? But those movies, it's just because of how crafty they had to be back then. I feel like that's what really entices me as well, like just the craftiness of what they had to do. Like now, if you want to go to Egypt, right, to film a movie, you just fly to Egypt, right? But back then, if they wanted to make a movie that was based in Egypt, well, they built the set. You know what I mean? They built the whole set and they did the whole shebang, right? They did a lot of hands-on work, a lot of craftsmanship, whereas now it's just pure CGI. And no, they're not really climbing that building. No, they didn't build that set. You know what I mean? So there is more of a genuine feel from the previous decades, no doubt. As I'm getting a little bit off topic. Thank you, Dub, so much. Yep. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Prezi said back then they wanted to be stars to express their gifts. Now they just want to get paid, right? Right. More heart put into the work, Josh said. Yeah, people cared about reputation and integrity. Adam said, yeah. Animal Lover says the CGI is pretty good now. It's almost too good, isn't it? Almost too good. right? So everybody, once again, I'm really, really sorry for the technical difficulties that I had tonight. YouTube was glitching out, and it's still glitching out on my end. So it has been a little bit of a distraction here with these multiple pop-ups that I'm seeing for the whole time. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. I don't know what's going on with YouTube tonight, but I want to thank you guys all so much for joining the stream. All those who have liked the stream and who've been watching the stream, contributing with the super chats. Thank you, Dubs, very kindly. And of course, to all those who are commenting, you saying all these awesome comments, insight, right? It's just fantastic. Like, once again, when I'm able to come on here and talk to a lot of you, it really does. It's something I heavily look forward to. I really do enjoy it. And once again, I know you guys have a lot of things to do, a lot of things you guys got to take care of. So when you guys do take the time out, it's very nice. It's very humbling. So I appreciate that. I'll definitely be posting some videos during the weekend, especially to make up for this glitchy stream as well. I don't feel good about that at all, right? But so I'll stay posted for sure over the weekend. And once again, thank you guys so much. People will be watching you everywhere that you go. It could be anywhere. It could be people that you don't know, people that you do know. Understand that there's something special about you, and this is the prevailing reason. People know that you're not like the rest. People know there's something about you. They can't put their finger on it. They just know, they get a feel of it, and that's what it really comes down to. All right, everybody. So thank you guys all so much for the positivity. Once again, sorry for the technical difficulties as I close out the stream. Hopefully this doesn't happen again. And yeah, everybody. So have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful Friday. Thank you guys all so much. Keep doing what you guys do. Thanks for all the comments. It's really awesome. Really, really awesome. And hopefully I get to see a lot of you guys in person as well, like I was saying. So we could have these conversations about movies and you know, these things. Like it's awesome to do it online, but it would be so much more deeper, like enriching and almost like life-changing to do it in person. So I'm really trying to see about that. All right, everybody. So thank you guys so much. Stay vibrating high, and I'll see you guys soon, okay? Take care. Bye.